Did you work on Midsommar?
I did.
Ooh, okay.
So I've worked on every single A24 release from the period of the start of 2019 to the rough end of 2021 release calendar-wise.
What did you do in that film?
So with all of these movies, I handled premiere planning, event launch, and marketing. So I didn't do creative work on those movies outside of like what special features are going to go on the DVD and like what is the audience responding to. So like I did like a lot of like focus testing and like different cuts of the film. So I got to see Midsommar probably like 8 or 9 times, and every single time I saw it, it was a different version of the movie.
That's fucking wild. Hell yeah.
Yeah. That's basically what my job is. Like on top of all the other things I do, the biggest thing I do is like audience testing and seeing like, all right, we have these 2 versions of a film. Let's A/B test which ones do better and like see which movie we're going to actually put out to theatrical versions, which is a really cool job, but it sucks because it kills me because I desperately want to, I'll see a movie and I'll be like, this movie's incredible. And then I see the version of the movie that hits theaters and I'm like, oh no, we cut so much out of it.
It's frustrating.
Oh,
Fuck.
man.
Yeah, it's brutal. But yeah, so that's what I did for Midsommar. So I got to see the director's cut of Midsommar like a year and a half before it was released.
Rad as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super fucking cool.
Do you think that the release version or the pre-release version was better?
The director's cut is pretty much the pre-release version, and I think that is the best way to watch the movie now if you're gonna watch it.
I've seen it already. I liked it. I thought it was good.
Yeah. See you in a little bit, everyone.
Love
We're
it.
gonna be on break for about 5-10 minutes.
I'll see you in hell.
Things are good. I'm gonna get a
Well,
pee because I have to pee.
I don't know. I'm looking at this horse. Things are not good.
What'd that tongue do?
A lot.
What that tongue don't. That is truly unsettling.
I hate that.
I hate looking at it.
That's great.
There's gonna be a high-res version of that, and I hate that that exists.
Yeah.
I'm back. I'm glad you like the horse.
That's no.
They're perfect. It's a Voroboros.
It
If a
sure is.
Okay, so if Longhorse wore pants, it's gonna be a lot of fucking denim either way.
Why would the goblin like it? So many feet and no toes.
He's having a good time.
Just vibing.
His name for me is now Toby.
Toby.
I mean, Conrad called him. I think he gets to name him.
I had no idea where today was going.
That's great, but like I'm still gonna call him Toby.
This is giving real color out of space vibes. Like,
Yeah.
I was channeling that a bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is the town going to shit vibe.
Yeah.
I was tricked into watching that movie because I was told it's a silly Nick Cage movie.
Oh.
Oh.
It's a really good wholesome family movie.
Yeah, there's a
Starts
whole
like
family with some
There's
holes.
a whole family.
Oh. Shut up.
Mm.
I never saw the movie, but I read the book. I read the story.
Yeah,
They really
I
come
saw this
together
movie,
as a family at the end.
I read the story for
Zach
the
Lavinia, she does it.
Annihilation video, because I think Annihilation is also based on the color out of space. Is the vibe I get.
Yes, definitely.
Annihilation good though.
It is
I like
good.
Annihilation.
It's so
Well, I
good.
mean, I like
It
both
was my
these.
first video essay.
I really like that essay, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I told you specifically, but I did like it a lot. And I rewatched the movie immediately afterwards.
I need to go back and
quote
do
it
horror
frequently.
movie
Did you read
essays.
the
I'm
book?
doing one right now. I need to do more of those. I've not read
That's the
Area
next
X.
step. To read the book.
I actually made the Annihilation essay out of spite because another
Hell yeah.
video essayist made a video about how the movie is garbage compared to the book, and I'm like, all right, well, let's instead of typing out this big to long comment that no one cares about, let's actually go on a rant about how good this movie is, and then just file off the serial numbers, and now it's just a video essay.
Well, it's one of those cases where both of them are good, they're just different.
Yeah. I'm currently watching the entire Evil Dead series as background research, just because I don't feel good about making a video about something unless I've seen all of the related stuff. So just
Love Evil Dead. It sucks.
I'm just trying to talk about the new one, but I need to go back and watch all of them before I feel comfortable finishing a script.
Because I think Evil Dead was one of those things where like they tried to make a horror movie that was scary and it was so bad that it was funny, but then they made this series
leaned into it.
That was like not funny. It was just scary. So like they
New one slap.
Yes.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Bucky deserved better.
He sure did.
I don't know. He looks pretty cool now.
That's why I'm like, maybe I could talk to him. I've got history. I've got history with these people.
Yeah.
One of them still likes me, I think.
What an episode. We got so much stuff done.
That was fantastic.
Thank you all for playing. This was a great session. I had fun.
I typed up like 4 hypothetical examples of what I thought might happen to Ka, and fuck, all of them happened.
I'm so curious.
You gave him ammo.
I really wanted to know what would have happened if Chance failed his card draw.
That was wild. That was fantastic.
That was insane.
I will say I'm glad it's not Nicodemus's horse up on the hill.
Yeah, that would have been painful.
That would have been the worst, the top 10 anime betrayal, like
absolutely
most brutal moment of the campaign.
When we took our break and I thought that Long Horse was going to be a boss fight, the strategy I had formulated was that Argo was going to go towards its ass and taunt it to create the Voroboros.
Sure. So Nico almost fired upon that horse because he didn't notice that it wasn't his.
Yeah. I think Beck, looking at that horse, just fully, honestly, 100%, he took one look at the horse and just thought, nope.
That's a reasonable reaction to that kind of horse.
Just fully, not my problem, not my, if they want to sit on that thing, then you know what?
Not my long horse, not my rodeo.
Exactly. Fully, no thank you. I'm all set.
I was wondering if the people who sat on the horse like had to make contamination checks because
or this horse is so uncomfortable that it gives them fatigue.
Put some
so I
towels
can't
down,
wait to see
fine.
the artwork of the saddles over the face parts of the horse.
No.
Hate it.
We need like a full like Last Supper style, except it's every single person who rode the horse on the horses. Ugh, that's awful. Just terrible.
In a good way.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm glad.
I was so upset that you all hid Stilton from me because I truly, honestly, 100% Beck was just gonna pour alcohol for him and be like, well, here you are.
You know, when it comes out my hole.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, hey, it is what it is. I shot you. We got problems, Sheriff. And then if the sheriff said no, he'd be like, very good, you learning. And then would have let him just live. Would have just let him go. Taught him a lesson, you know?
I think
sad.
We wouldn't
was
have
too
known
smart to make that gambit.
Yes. Fully. No, I mean, it was a good gamble to not it was good not to gamble on that, but I truly was like, I'll get my scene with the sheriff where I get to let bygones be bygones and tell him that I killed his boyfriend. That would have been, that was going to be what I was going to do, but it is what it is. The beginning of this episode was crazy.
Yeah, was he his boyfriend? Because I actually know nothing about the character you killed. I didn't get to learn about him.
There was just a few hints.
Sheriff.
Yeah, there were a few hints dropped in their terms of affection for each other.
Okay. I see.
Yeah.
Was it a will they or won't they situation?
There's there's not a lot of ambiguity when it comes to Stilton.
Stilton is the male wife to Bucky.
Yeah.
He stays at home and cooks him beans every night.
Yeah.
Stilton's the leather dom.
Yeah.
But,
Is Mortadella going to give him lessons on how to use that pole while he's down there?
hey, get him fit, help him heal. That is what it is.
The town is healing.
But that first moment, you know, Beck leans down to kind of do the mercy kill on Bucky, and he starts unraveling. This Lord Barbados is not fucking around. He has some kind of deeply powerful magic over this area.
And Beck doesn't take instruction well.
No.
I never got, like, there was a story beat that I wanted to have, but it just didn't come up, where we're just telling Mortadella, like, yeah, see, those rumors of cannibalism are completely unfounded because...
Yeah, you got proof.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Shame about the horses, though.
I was fully committed to being left behind.
Because
yeah.
I
That would have been difficult.
I forgot to do a common knowledge roll where I could see maybe who went missing when the sheriff, the sheriff before Stilton.
You can always put it together after this fight. Next game.
Yeah.
You know? We are going to kill the deputy.
Oh, no. I did. I had like 3 different plans on how to reintroduce Argo to the story.
Yeah. From there though, we had so this was a pretty exposition heavy episode. We got a lot of like setting and lore here. Does anyone have like a favorite moment or like a favorite new detail or anything?
Definitely the tarot cards.
Yeah,
hands down.
That was so cool. Great. I did not expect total new art for a whole tarot deck.
Yeah, we gotta get those on merch, man. I want to own a deck of those cards. Really bad.
Well, I was talking to the artist about that. That might be fun.
What I loved about that tarot session too is like you kind of lulled us into a sense of safety, and then you like gave a character moment to chance, and then it was like a Joker moment where everyone was in the card. That like and it was a one-on-one battle of chance. That was so good. I want little moments like that.
Oh, and the fact that he won it too immediately on the first draw was just like it's so good for like the thematics of it. It fits so well.
Yes.
He drew a Joker. That pretty much wins since that's a wild card.
Yes.
The thing that does, I do wish he lost one of them so we could have saw like more of like the threat of what would happen if he kept losing.
Yeah.
Especially because we were, I feel like, in danger probably.
We were, yeah, for sure.
Shuffles, I'm in danger.
Exactly.
The danger's not over yet, though.
Shuffles, I'm in danger.
Yeah,
I mean, we are,
because you made a contract without knowing the terms.
I mean, we're gonna find out real quick that perhaps Chance knows how to throw cards.
Well, yeah, I mean,
coming up real soon.
Anyone can throw cards.
Hey, we got a combat encounter coming. This is really good for us.
We're about to learn we have a fucking X-Man on our team. Like, holy shit. This rules.
Yeah, it's gonna be so sick. But I really loved all this setup. I loved being able to see Madaska. That's so awesome. I loved that whole thing. Being able to, I mean, this episode I got to play a lot of different sides of Beck, right? Like we have Dreamwalker Beck, who is a murderous outlaw who is navigating this place and knows a lot about it. And so I got to, exposit and tell people, here's how this works. Here's what you can do. Here's the situation we need to be in order to do this. But then we also
Beck.
Yeah, exactly. And well, then we had, I was going to say, I wanted to bring up the conversation with Wolfram, which I've been wanting to have since the start, is like a part of Wolfram's character that was announced in the Patreon is that he is, he's like a native to the lands around here, but he doesn't have a tribe. He's a courier. He works for the post. And Beck is half native, and he also doesn't really have a tribe or a people. And as a result, there is a kinship there. And he sets up this gambit with Wolfram of like, you can leave. This is my gift to you is like, go. You don't owe these people anything. They have taken from you. They have destroyed your world. We are remnants of an old world that no longer exists. Like I'm an outlaw and you're a person without a tribe at this point. And I really like that dichotomy between Wolfram and Beck, because it just shows how differently they view their situations and their place in the world. So I was really, really happy that I got to have that moment. But then when we got to go to the witch's house, I love her so much. I want to pick her up and have her pinch my cheeks and pat my head. I love her so much. And it's fun because, obviously there's more going on there than it seems. Like Beck and her clearly have some kind of strange relationship or agreement of some kind. I don't think anyone is surprised to hear that she is not literally his grandmother. But
oh shit, really?
Yeah. But it's just an interesting thing. Like I was really happy I was excited to be able to play that side of him, because it's a side of the character that you never get to see elsewhere. Whatever she has over him that makes him like that there, or whether it be fear or control or an explicit contract, like it's such a fun thing to play and to act in, especially with the rest of Beck. So this was a big episode. This was great. I really loved everything we got to do.
What's interesting about the witches too, like as they were described as coming from a domain, or not necessarily a domain, but like the city, because they're nomads, of both pain and pleasure. I was very much expecting like the craft goth witch with spikes in her hair, and then we got cottagecore granny. Yeah, so that was a surprise.
Well, so talking about that, there's another piece of lore. I'll read this out loud. This can be a little post-show extra that'll be fun for people, because I don't think it's going to actually come up in the campaign unless we desperately decide to search it up. But I wrote up a bunch of descriptions of places and like not domains specifically, but locations in the dream that are within other domains, within the safety of the edges of liminality and understanding. And so the name that I dropped in this session was Col Tanith, which is the name of the witches' festival. It's not a city. It is a city in the sense that it is a very large footprint that is navigable and has like neighborhoods in it. But in reality, it's actually a gigantic festival. It's like Burning Man or
I was just about to say Burning Man.
Yeah. And it travels around the sea, and so, or around the Dream Sea. So it says, Col Tanith is where dream witches and nightmare fae hold their endless feast and orgy, a simultaneous miasma of sex and death, pleasure and pain. This is a place where nightmares, dreams, and hateful thoughts gather. Despite being a bad place, the dream witches hold extreme authority here, stabilizing the dream and corralling the dark concepts that rule the night into strict but often confusingly contradictory and aligned, as well as overlapping hierarchies. Close to an afterlife in the traditional sense, legendary evils often descend here after death, manifesting in a warped, ghostly echo of their original existences. Overwhelming and intoxicating, many dreamwalkers end up here when they are lost and surface suddenly in an inconvenient area topside as a result of being awoken during their night terrors. So that's sort of the mecca of the dream witches here. But of course, because they are a nomadic people and they roam the land, they also just can be on their own. And there's probably a really interesting reason behind why Madaska, which I don't know, isn't part of that coven. And, I'm sure there are other witch covens and stuff like that around. But there you go. That's a little piece of setting.
I definitely want to meet more witches if possible, because it would be cool to see like how they're different.
Mm-hmm.
And also, like, I just think that anytime there's my favorite type of situation, like anytime I'm watching like a really good shonen that I like, is when like suddenly all of the action stops and there's a battle of wits that's very creative. And I love that I saw that today. I got so happy. Like, I'm just so happy.
There was definitely a little bit of the Death Note, like, I put a TV inside the bag of potato chips, and now I eat a potato chip. Like, there was that kind of
Then I
vibe
eat a chip.
there.
You guys are world-owed.
It was very cool. I had a lot of fun with that. The witches are like one of my favorite parts of this setting, and I'm glad that we've been diving into them more.
Like my favorite part in Yu Yu Hakusho is when there's the non-violence room where you have Kurama and the boy with the glasses who established a domain where there can be no violence, but every like 10 or so seconds, one letter of the alphabet is eliminated. And if you say a word that includes one of those letters or a sentence that includes one of those letters, then you lose your soul.
Togashi does the weird powers, and
I love that stuff. I love it. That's my favorite.
I guess so far I've once again accidentally made a character that's just immune to the supernatural things.
I mean, we'll see.
I said so far.
We're gonna learn that. We're gonna learn pretty quick. Yeah.
So we're just haven't to touch any of the solutions, and I'm just like,
pretty sure
fine.
Argo is vulnerable to tongue.
We just
Can confirm.
I like the vibe, not the monster.
It is interesting having to drag a character through the campaign. Like, you would think that a character would participate at some point, but Argo has been really digging his heels in, just like Jet did. It's like it is hard to work around too. You have to find creative solutions for things.
Threats of violence.
Threats of violence.
One of my alternate plans on if Argo got left behind is he shows up at the last second writing Rick Ryder.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
hate that.
Things might have gone different if you made a deal with him instead of Bucky here making a deal with him.
Yes, one of the solutions was the idea that I might have been going around with Rick Ryder, and the dumb explanation I had was that just like what Conrad did, Rick is also able to end up tracking Conrad because of what he made.
Mm-hmm.
That was my absurd description.
That Rick Ryder tracking device goes both ways.
Yeah.
Excellent. Interesting.
But now we have a revenant that's coming for blood, and I'm gonna have to put him down
I'm
again.
excited.
Yeah,
It might be a
Beck
little
is
tougher now.
I can't wait to see what Chance does during the combat encounter. Yeah.
It's gonna be so good. I'm so looking forward to it.
Also,
Man.
I was gonna say I really appreciated the way you had Gurgle like rifle through shit in the tower and like just messily throw stuff out, because I was like, oh yes, this is like a Jim Henson movie for a moment, and that I was totally
That was so
It
much
was a
fun.
wonderful moment.
It was so silly.
Because I loved the setup of that, of like Conrad tries to climb up and it's just not going great. But then we take the shitty little toe gremlin and we're like, I guess we can make him roll, and he fucking rolls huge every single time.
He's high on toes, man. He can do anything.
He could just do it. We're gonna get a look at his stat block, and he's gonna have the best stats out of anyone in the party.
That thing is a nightmare.
Yeah.
He's named after the sound his stomach makes after eating toes.
Yep.
Good for him.
Ew.
He's live his truth.
Hate that.
There was a really big reveal this episode that I got to drop.
I think he should dye his truth.
That could be fun. Yeah, he could eat Beck's toes. I don't know if he wants to. They're too crispy.
No.
They're well done.
Well done, yeah. I got to drop a really big piece of lore here, which kind of, I was hinting at the end of the last episode, but Erebus is the Lord of Hunger. Beck has a contract with the Lord of Hunger. So when they mentioned at the end of last episode that, this was a place between two domains, and that maybe the toe goblins were creatures from the Hunger domain, that immediately was like, oh, this is something we can weaponize. Like, these are Beck's people, believe it or not. Like, he can pull rank on them in the Hunger domain, which is kind of interesting. So,
well, I don't think we knew if there was like one Lord of Hunger or Lords of Hunger, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think
out the pantheon.
Yeah, just the pantheon has been hinted at, but Beck mentioned previously in the last episode, he asked the goblin, do you show deference to the Lord of Hunger, singular? And then he was the creature was afraid of Erebus. So that's when I was like, okay, this is fun. And then this episode I got to reveal it to everyone. So Beck is from a lore perspective, canonically, he is an emissary of the domain of hunger. That's his title, so to speak, as a dreamwalker. So we're getting more of my backstory, which is fun.
Love it.
Yeah.
One thing I had in my notes that didn't happen is if the goblin had been brought down into the bunker, he would have said, "Hose."
Singular.
Speaking of hose, I think I want like Nico to have a chance to talk to Wolfram at some point too.
Oh, that'd be good.
If that's possible. I don't know, like if we're gonna be able to go back and forth.
Just walks out from behind a rock.
I have backstory to write.
Yeah.
Do it. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to read whatever you write. For the people listening on stream on our Patreon, we've been posting literal short stories as well. I wrote a 16-page short story. It's like 10,000 words or something. And Keith wrote one for Argo that is page number, because I don't remember, in length, that you can go read right now if you subscribe to the Gnollplaying Games Patreon. Help fund the show. Holy crap, because the art is expensive, and I had no idea that Caw sanctioned off part of our budget to commission a whole fucking tarot deck.
Tarot deck.
So I licensed an existing tarot deck. That wasn't custom for us, but it was for another Weird West game. And I got up in that artist DMs. I'm like, hey, can I pay you to use this?
Yeah.
This is really cool.
Great.
Oh, that's so sick.
Incredible.
Like, how is there more art?
No, exactly.
I know how the Demon Skunk art happened.
Especially if we can link to that tarot deck.
Yes, absolutely.
We should absolutely make sure that the artist is shouted out there, because those were awesome. That was sick.
That is such a cool deck.
Was it just the Major Arcana?
Just the Major Arcana. And if you had asked about that, Medoska would have said, yes, I got rid of the Minor Arcana because they are boring.
Hey,
They're
that's
about
good.
the journey, though.
One thing I wanted to call out, a fun character detail that kind of links to the rest of the lore of this setting, and it's something that we talked about when we were talking about Cape Escape too. Medoska was talking, and she mentioned things that don't exist yet, because time here is weird. She knows what a battery is. How the fuck does she know what a battery is? We have no idea. We have no frame of reference for basically any of that shit.
Just gonna assume it's like witch stuff.
Exactly. It's witch stuff. She's a strange denizen of the dream.
Actually, batteries are from ancient Egypt.
Okay. All right. Maybe she's got some acid in a jar. George.
That helps with the dream walking.
I was gonna say of all the people there, Conrad has probably heard of a battery, but just wouldn't understand like what it would be used for.
The concept of a social battery as well. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, no, that would be confusing as hell.
Yeah. People are asking where to send fan art. You can tag Keith at Sebastian SB on Twitter, or Marrow Hyena on Blue Sky. You can tag Caw on Caw's handles, caw.gay at Blue Sky, I think.
Yeah.
What's your Twitter? What are your other ones? I don't remember.
My Blue Sky is caw.gay. My Twitter is Welovekah. We cannot link that in the doobly-doo because we will get demonetized. It is 18+. Beware.
Yeah. My Blue Sky is Boring Keith, not Marrow Hyena, and it is 18+.
Okay, Boring Keith. You can always at me. I'm at toaster.live on Blue Sky. Or you can join any of our Discords.
And
We'll
tag
probably
us.
set up a GPG Discord at some point. It's
Maybe.
a lot.
That's a smart thing to do.
It's a thing we'll do eventually. So should be simple. But yeah, you can just as long as you just ping it to us somehow, we'll feature it in the show. In this technically, because Keith puts all of the fan art in Idle Banter at the end of the week. So it will show up live here, and we'll repost it and tweet it around, and we love the fan art. It's great. Today I got fan art of Beck. I got fan art of Beck from Crimson Rabbit.
So
Holy
good.
smokes. That was real good.
That was
I'm
an
gonna-
awesome show.
Yeah.
Been getting a
let me
lot of
see.
loot art of Lynn from this guy named Horrorbuns.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that guy goes off.
Very dedicated fan. We are firmly in the territory where I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen.
Exactly.
Fully.
That's the
fully-
fun part.
I have
Yeah.
no clue. I'm so nervous about where we're going, and I have no
Yeah.
idea what's gonna happen from here. I had like very strong bets that we were gonna walk out into the dream, and just one of us, because of bad rolls, was gonna get literally torn to pieces. Like I was just, oh no, you look to your right and you're lost in nostalgia from your childhood. You turn to your left and your body is atomized, like Dr. Manhattan turned you into nothing. Like that's what I was expecting. So the fact that that didn't
I would
happen
just
was
fix them.
very nice.
Easy.
Yeah,
The
you
biggest
guys,
shock of all is that 20 episodes into Gnollplaying games, we leave the town. I think that was in the cards.
Now it's a real adventure.
It is.
I think the idea of like going to and from the town, like going back but leaving and then coming back and leaving, was kind of sort of the idea that I had when I designed Nico, because I gave him a lot of survival and
Yeah.
traveling points.
It's
That's
very
good.
helpful.
I gave Argo people skills. For
Let's
this.
hope there's people out here.
I think there would be, like, I think there's the
Goblins
witches,
people.
and then there's also like denizens of the dream that would probably be able to be communicated with, right? So I don't think those are useless skills.
You gotta learn to speak toes.
No.
If he takes his shoes off, it gets +2 to persuasion.
Ooh.
Dangerous game you're playing.